You're listening to the GeekCast radio network of podcasts.
Cliff Jumper, commence countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Tune in next week for a much better episode. For now, though, courage.
Hello and welcome to the 39th episode of ToyCast, sponsored by www.bigbadtoystore.com, where you can save from 20 to 90% on over 1,700 items. I am your host, TFG Mike, and returning, oh god, I don't even know when the hell the last time you were on this show is, my ToonCast.
Long time.
Yes, long time. ToonCast co-host Kevin, Professor Bosky, Dog Thompson. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
It's always good to do a random ToyCast once every 5 months.
Hell, random nothing. These shows are nothing but random. I mean, I've pumped out episodes 33 through 38 in the past maybe month, I think. I'm still sitting, well, as of this recording, 37 and 36 through 38 have not been released yet, but by the time this airs, 36 through 38 will be out. So, how are you?
I am doing pretty good.
Yes, we just finished ToonCast episode 35. Oh, Christ. That was the worst. That's probably the worst record I've ever done. Oh, my God. I hate
It wasn't worse than Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh, yes, that was 10 times worse than Dexter's Laboratory. Fucking go.
No, Dexter's Laboratory was the worst record I think I've ever been a part of.
It is. It's quality programming compared to that shit. So, I guess I will go first this time around, seeing as how I'm only going to be talking about, about how tall is this thing? Probably about a foot, maybe an inch, I don't know, something like that. Since you have...
Are you speaking English?
Yes, I'm speaking English. No, I'm speaking English. Anyway, recently I've been big on the Mighty Mugs. I have all of the Transformers ones, and I'm starting to get into the Marvel ones. And the only Marvel one that I have so far that I have not talked about is the Hulk. And he is awesome. I love these things. Only being an inch tall, these things are cool. They just are. He is green, black, and he has purple pants on. It's actually very funny. It shows him having nipples, and it shows him having a belly button. It shows him having a button on his pants. Kind of weird, but whatever. It's really cool. I found this show on YouTube, and I've said this before in other ToyCast episodes, and I will continue to say it's called Superhero Mug. Guy Jason Henry and his friends do voices for the characters, and he uses stop motion to make them move and make videos, and has a story behind it and everything else. It's just really, really cool. So that's what's gotten me into more Mighty Mugs. Actually, Hulk's arm feels like it's going to fall off. Some world's strongest plastic this is supposed to be. Anyway. Yeah, he's just so super cool. Yep.
I don't mind the Mighty Mugs. I mean, I have never bought one, so I can't speak from personal experience. They could be even cooler or worse, depending on your opinion once you buy them and play with them. But they've always looked kind of cool in the stores. I guess my thing is, though, I've bought so many toys in my life, and I have so many different collections. In Transformers and Star Wars being the two big ones, that I'm on a budget since I just bought my house, and it's just hard. You got to pick and choose what you're going to collect, and I've never been able to pull the trigger and start collecting the Mighty Mugs. I'm not saying they're bad. I think they look pretty cool, actually, but it's just something that I haven't let myself get into yet.
the listeners are probably tired of me saying this, but since this has been your first episode in a while, we've talked about Mighty Mugs in detail on several episodes recently, and honestly, they are for the collector. They're not for play. These toys have no play value whatsoever. I mean, unless you're going to do what Jason does with the stop motion animation and stuff like that, just these aren't toys that you can bring home and just start, smashing together and playing with them because, I mean, they're PVC plastic is what they are. They are for collectors and displays. Excuse me. I think
that's why I like them. That's the type of stuff that I usually like. I'm not one that's going to play with all my stuff. I'm more of a collector that puts it in a showcase or on a stand or something. But when you have the amount of toys that I have and you spent the amount of money I've spent, some things you got to just say I can't start doing that or else I'll be spending a whole bunch more money.
Well, you're going to be spending a whole bunch more money off these because I started with the Transformers ones, and I don't even really know what got me started with them. I have no clue. I think I might have seen a YouTube video of some of them or something. I started out with Transformers Wave 1, which was Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Soundwave. And then I got the Wave 2 figures, which is Starscream and Grimlock. And then the Wave 3 figures finally got released for Transformers, which is G1 Jazz, G1 Shockwave, Movie Optimus, and Movie Bumblebee. Well, I don't really give a shit about Movie Optimus or Movie Bumblebee. Holy crap. G1 Shockwave is the best out of the entire Transformers ones, I think, because they molded him with his gun arm with the cord that goes from his back to his arm.
That's pretty cool.
Starscream has his wings with him. They are detachable wings. Jazz, the G1 Jazz, and the Movie Bumblebee, they have doors attached to their backs. And they are physically attached. They're not detachable like Starscream's wings are. And then the Marvel ones are just awesome. I've got Wolverine, Hulk, and the Torch. Human Torch. Wolverine has his claws. It's his classic yellow, black, red, and blue spandex. Basically, his X-Men the animated series outfit. They're just so awesome. My birthday's coming up, and I definitely plan on raiding Toys R Us. I just really like them so much, and it's funny. I took a picture with Hulk the other day, and I have one of those. I have an original Game Boy. I took a picture of him with his hand outstretched, and he's standing in front of the Game Boy like he's pressing the button. I don't know. It's just something cool. But I can understand not wanting to get into yet another collection, but these things are really cool display pieces. They just are. Their heads do go 60, but you can turn them. So, you can have him standing like he's looking to the left or to the right. It's just so cool. So cool. So who are you going to be talking about?
I'm going to be talking about it's fairly, not brand new, obviously. It's been on the market for a little bit here since last fall, but Toys R Us put out a set of commemorative figures. They put one box that had the three Insecticons. They put another box that had Perceptor as part of the Transformers Universe line. So we'll be talking about Perceptor a little bit. And the Universe line, this classic line, if you want to call it, has had a lot of different looks. It's had the classic G1 redone and, kind of a different take on it, which I was all over and bought just about every single one. Mm-hmm. And then it has the second, there's a whole nother line of these classic figures that are just repaints of crappy Energon or Cybertron or Armada figures and stuff like that, or repaints of something else, which I have stayed away from. And then there's these classic figures that are basically exact replicas of the G1s, just kind of a commemorative thing, which is what this is. My favorite part of them is the redesigned takes on the actual G1 classic figures over this commemorative edition, but I still like the commemorative edition. The best thing about this one is actually the packaging. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many of you have been to Toys R Us and seen these, because it's a Toys R Us exclusive, but it comes in a box It's about the size of like a cracker box, like of a like a Wheat Thins or like a Cheez-It or something like that. That's the best way I can. That's about the shape of it. And it has a flap that opens up. It has two little Velcro circles in it, and it opens up to show the figure in a clear plastic window inside, and then obviously graphics on the other side. So it has a very cool packaging that if you were one that likes to keep your stuff in a box, which I am not, but if you're one that has to keep it in a box, at least this way you can actually see the figure and still have it in the box with this window. Mm-hmm. The packaging does have the 25 years logo, 1984 to 2009. It does have a silver Toys R Us exclusive sticker on it. On the inside flap, it does give the tech spec numbers, and it gives a write-up of the character. It gives 3 different pictures of Perceptor, one in tank mode, which I don't think I've ever transformed a Perceptor figure into tank mode. Whether it was the original one or this one, I've never turned one into a tank mode. I don't know why. And then it has a picture of the robot mode and the microscope mode. The side has the story of Transformers on it. The other side has a picture of Perceptor, and then the back has a big picture of Perceptor with another kind of G1 series story about Perceptor on it. So the packaging is the best part of this. The packaging is just really cool. And then in the plastic window, it has Perceptor in his his microscope mode, and then it has a molded place for his gun, his missile launcher, and then it has another place for the 3 individual missiles. So it's a pretty good box. We have A+ on the box.
Yeah.
As far as the actual figure goes, it's more sturdy and a little bit more movable. The word just escaped my head there. That most of us toy collectors use for
posable.
What's that?
Posable.
Yeah, it's more posable. Has a little more articulation than the original character or the original figure from the 80s. But there's some bad parts about this toy, unfortunately. Number one, maybe this is just my figure, but my missile launcher does not work. The missile launcher that has these little missiles that go into it, you put the red missile into it, and it never clicks. Which it needs to click in order for you then to be able to push the red button on the top to fire it. Now, my red button on my top, you can't push it. It goes nowhere.
Now,
it doesn't matter what side.
Is this for the microscope?
No, this is the actual missile launcher that he holds in his hand.
Okay, alright.
And I don't know if my thing is just jammed, but the red button on the top, it doesn't matter if you have a missile in or not, there's nothing you can do to press either side of it. You can't lift it. You can't do anything to this button. And because of that, I think it's stuck somehow in a position that when you put the missile in, it doesn't click like it normally should. So if you put the missile in the missile launcher and then point it down, the missile falls right out. And you cannot fire it at all. So I don't know if that's a common flaw for this character, or if I just somehow got one that's jammed. I don't know if it's something that I could fix easily, but I don't want to break it, so I haven't messed with it too much. But that is something to watch out for. Maybe if you wherever to get this character, maybe check it out right away. And if you're someone that has to have it in perfect condition, you have to return it and get a different one. So that's one bad thing about it.
I never really liked Perceptor #1 because I didn't in the cartoon, but one of my major issues with him in the cartoon is after the movie and in season 3, he might have done it in season 2, I think. I don't know, but there's a couple of times where his microscope, telescope, whatever the hell you want to call it, because I know he used it for both. It is a gun. In the cartoon, I've seen him shoot stuff out of it, projectile stuff. I've seen him shoot blasts out of a micro tello whatever. It's a fucking microscope. Yeah. It's not a fucking gun.
Exactly. All right. Bad thing number 2 about it. when he's in robot mode, and like I said, I haven't put him in tank mode yet, and I usually keep my Transformers in robot mode most of the time. I don't usually keep them in vehicle mode that much, so I'm just talking about stuff from a robot standpoint. But when he's in robot mode, obviously you know that his telescoping thing is supposed to usually be sitting on his shoulder.
Right.
Well, it can sit. Technically, you could put it so it's on either shoulder. You can have it on his right side or his left side. But in this figure, you can't really do it on his left. It won't stay still. Like you'll put it where it should be, and then it will tilt to the side, so it doesn't look absolutely stupid. So you have to have it on the other side, and there's nothing for it to click into place. Not that it necessarily needs one, but it would be better if it could somehow click into a position and stay there. And because of that, I'm not sure if it's because of that or because of something else, but the front, he has like a front casing. I can kind of compare it to like Blaster or Soundwave as their like cassette part.
Right.
It's kind of like that. He has a chest piece, and it does not click shut. Like it sits shut, and it doesn't flop or it's not like loose or anything like that. But there's a good gap between, maybe like a centimeter gap between the chest plate and his actual chest, and there's no clicking in close, which I wish it would do. And I'm not done.
Okay.
On the top of the shoulder is a black piece that can open and shut, for some transforming ability. But the one side, his right arm will shut and snaps shut and it's fine, but his other arm, it does not all the way shut in. You can't really tell by looking at it, but if you were inspecting it close enough, you can figure out that it's not like snap shut at all. The only bonus thing I like about that little compartment is since there's nowhere for you to keep the red missiles, and since I can't really put it in my missile launcher because it falls right out, I wish there was some compartment for you to put them in, so I just open up his shoulder thing and stick his missiles in his shoulder. And it basically goes down into his arm, and you can just see the little tops of the missiles sticking up. So I did use it for that, I guess. But his legs are more movable. His knee joints swivel from side to side. His thigh joints swivel from side to side, and they're separate joints. So you could like twist his thigh leg or his thigh, and then you could twist his bottom of his leg in a different direction. Yeah. So that part's kind of cool. And his arms have a little bit more flexibility. His head's cool. The guns are cool except for the missile launcher that doesn't work. I don't have too much to complain about it from that point. I did find it odd, though, two things. They brought out these two things at the same time. The Insecticon box, which has all three Insecticons together, which is a better buy for your money, and then the box that just has Perceptor in it. So I bought both of them, even though the Insecticons are no longer named the right names for copyright reasons. But the Perceptor one comes with all his decals already on. The Insecticon box comes with the decals on sheets, which you can put on yourself.
Right.
And I don't know what your opinion is about that, which one you prefer. I don't mind that the Perceptor one comes with the stickers already on it, if they would have been a little more careful when they actually put the stickers on. Well, because his symbol that is on his stomach, or his lower chest, I guess, is what you can call it, is a decal that's stuck on, and it's stuck and crooked, and not centered. Most of the other decals are all right, except I think they have two of them upside down on his arms, because I think they have the one that should be on the left arm on the right arm, but you can't really tell. I'm being really nitpicky on these things, but I kind of seen that. I'm glad that the Insecticon one came separately, so I haven't put them on yet, but I'm glad that I can put them on myself a little bit later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Overall, it's a decent figure. The box was super cool. There's just a couple few minor flaws. I always wish with G1 and this one that they would have made a telescope or a microscope that actually worked on it. I know it would have cost more money, but that would have been a super cool feature. I don't know. Out of all the classics, it's not as good as most of them that I have, but it's definitely worth owning.
No, not so much for me. I like Perceptor in the cartoon. That's about it. I don't want a damn microscope for a toy. or a microscoping, telescoping gun thing, whatever the hell it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And
He looks decent in the robot figure, but I'd probably give him like a 6 or 7 out of 10 if I was to rank him.
You know, as far as the stickers, I got so spoiled with animated as far as they're painted on instead of stickers. It's in the paint budget for the figures, so you don't have to worry about fucking stickers. Because yeah, I hate stickers. Stickers suck. Whether they're already applied or that you have to apply them yourselves, it just no. Stickers are evil. Stickers are like mini-cons. They are hell. Yeah. I know you have internet access, but have you had a chance to see the War for Cybertron trailer?
No, I have not seen it yet. I just saw a thing about it, but I haven't actually seen it yet.
Oh, it's... The problem is, Megatron's voice sounds like crap. I don't know who did the voice for him. It's not Welker, and I doubt it's Corey Burton, but, no. It sounds like Hugo Weaving is folded over the toilet, ready to heave.
What's that?
No, the voice for Megatron, to me, it sounds like Hugo Weaving is ready to just pray to the porcelain god and puke his guts out. Sounds like a very, very Hugo Weaving, so, yeah, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I might actually look that up and see who actually is listed for the voice for Megatron. Let's see.
I know we were just gathering information for Behind the Voice Actors because we were going to try to get them all listed as soon as possible, but I don't think we had gathered who was who yet for everybody.
No, Optimus is Peter Cullen, so... Yep, they only list unless there's more, but... Yeah, no, IMDb only lists Peter Cullen as Optimus. It doesn't list who Megatron is or whatever. Ooh, Jonathan Flood and Steve Jablonski did the music. Wow, I love the theme music on this game. It looks so good. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for us on this one. So basically, stop buying reissued crappy Perceptors and start buying Mighty Mugs.
I'll think about it. I gotta organize my basement first to display all the Transformers and Star Wars that I already have. Then I'll start buying more stuff.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us here on ToyCast. There's several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. First is you can visit www.geekcastradio.com, find all the other podcasts there. Second, you can stop by PredaconEmpire.com/Nexus. Those are our forums. The third is you can leave the show feedback in iTunes. Yet, please do this. We now have a voicemail line. Call us and leave us your thoughts on each episode. Be sure to say which show you're leaving the message for and your name. The number is 502-526-5821. You can follow us on Twitter. The show name there is TFToycast. Mine is TFG1Mike. And what is your Twitter?
Boss K-Dog.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of ToyCast and wish you'll join us next time. Be sure to visit our sponsors, www.BigBadToyStore.com, for all your Transformers toy and other toy needs. For now, I am TFG1Mike with...
Professor Boss K-Dog Kevin Thompson.
See you in one words of Optimus Prime, transform and roll out, and thank you for listening. Until next time.
Hey, this is Sari, and you're listening to the GeekCast Radio Network of podcasts.
This is Optimus Prime, and you're listening to All Things Transformers with Steve Megatron and TFG1 Mike. Transform and roll out!
The TFG1 podcast has 24 action-packed discussion episodes on the original Transformers cartoon. So if you're a fan of the 80s cartoon, we have all you need and more, as well as an interview with Stan Bush. You can find us on iTunes and the web at www.geekcastradio.com. Tune in.